Are cutback, rest, unloading weeks essential for marathon training? Essential? Technically, no, but are they smart? Yeah. Things that are smart aren't always essential. It's maybe optional but recommended. Can't hurt. I always say it's better to be slightly undertrained but healthy, and not saying you'd be undertrained from having a rest week every fourth or fifth week, but with a lot of my runners, if they go on a trip or have some travel for work or fun, that's going to be a rest week for them. It's just in there. It's takes some load off with the travel. Otherwise, a rest week, an unloading week, could just be a normal week with no long run. They have a tempo run instead, or it could be an extra rest day during that week. That's all it needs to be. When it comes to best shoes for running, shoe recommendations, I've got a variety down there, and I've got more in my closet. And when it comes to this, when my athletes give me this question, I really say go into a local running store, try on some pairs, and bring home the pair that feels most comfortable, the pair that feels like it fits the shape of your foot best. As far as drop, how much heel to toe cushioning there is, how much total cushioning there is. Usually most people, they want some. There's a little bit of variation between shoe companies and models and stuff like that, but maybe bring in the pair that you're currently using. Tell the employees, like, this is what I like or dislike about this pair. Try on some shoes and take home the pair that's most comfortable. Most big brands are going to be good options. When it comes to fitting together running and strength work, how I normally have my runners do it is, if we're running 4-5 times a week, the strength work is with the runs, either with a strength-oriented warm-up, like the FIFA 11 Plus routine, or like the hip phase 1 strength-oriented cool-down routine. There's an upper body routine as well. You can check out kylekranz.com/GSM for some routines. But I like to do it concurrently. So you do a warm-up, you do the run, and then you do some strength work straight away. So it lengthens the run a little bit, keeps your core temp, your heart rate up for an extra 15-20 minutes. You come home, you grab a water, you change your shirt, you jump on the yoga mat, and you go through a 15-minute routine, get your strength work in, and you're done. And it's often very running specific strength work as well. When it comes to a good training plan, there are hundreds of training plans out there. Hal Higdon's options are always great, and they're free. As a running coach, I like to say the best training plan is the one that follows you, not the other way around, and it's going to be dependent on your schedule, your abilities, your running history, what race you have coming up. So the training plan is specific to prepare you for that event. The training plans I plug in for my runners include strength work, include race simulations and strategies. All that is important to make not just have a good training plan, but have a great training plan, one that is appropriate for you and the event. And if you're interested in talking more about that, getting you on track for guidance, accountability on a really great training plan, let me know. Send me a DM. Let's chat about how we can work together to set you up feeling. So here's a tip when it comes to figuring out what to do while traveling. I had somebody DM me and they said, I have a long run planned for this weekend as per my training schedule, but I'm going to Jamaica and I don't want to run 12 miles on the treadmill. What should I do? And my answer to him was, when I have a runner I coach go on a trip, usually I use that as a planned period of rest. So that weekend, we might just skip the long run and do an hour kind of tempo type workout on the treadmill instead of doing a long run that weekend. And I usually find that runners think they can do more while traveling than they actually are able to do, because it's just busy. Your diet, your sleep is all whacked up a little bit. So travel periods are really great opportunities for a period of rest from running. So you ran the half marathon 2 minutes just faster than the equivalent of a full marathon um, Boston qualification. And you're thinking, what can I do to get just a smidge faster? And so a few things, regardless of training, things like carb loading, maybe going into the marathon better tapered, better rested, um, better execution of the marathon than the half marathon, better pacing, um, better fueling, just doing all the little things a little better, taking the tangents a little better. If you didn't listen to music during the half marathon, listening to music during the second half of the marathon could improve your performance. Beetroot juice, caffeine utilization could all help.
Recovery calf sleeves, full leg tights, are they worth it? The research says maybe. As a running coach, I say they can't hurt and they're comfy. So I have 2, maybe 3 pairs of compression socks. They are knee high. They're inexpensive. They feel comfortable after a long run or a hard workout. So it's kind of like, why not? They might benefit your recovery. Not as much as adequate sleep, adequate calories, easy runs, all that good stuff. But for $20, why not? There are things that definitely do a better job, but these are kind of just like, you pay $20, you wear it, it might help. And so can't hurt. Now, sleeves that just go from the ankle to the top of the calf, not worth it. Go with the full sock. Okay, Apple Watch or Garmin, new Garmin. So it sounds like you currently have a old Garmin, and it really just depends on kind of what you're looking for. When it comes to running GPS, I just have a Coros Pace 2, pretty simple, nothing fancy, and does the trick. And I get phone notifications when I get text messages or calls. Cool, that's all I need. A little bit of sleep tracking in there as well. But Apple Watch can be a cool thing to have. I wouldn't mind having a smarter watch for a few things, but in general, both can do a pretty good job. I think personally, most GPS watches are highly overrated, overpriced. This is $200 and does a fantastic job. I think it's a little silly to spend more than that on a running watch, personally. Okay, so I'm not one to typically run with earbuds in or anything like that, but I have some friends who they use aftershocks, and they're bone conducting ones. They go right here and they go around the back and then come over the ear again, and you can hear well outside cars. You can have conversations. You can hear somebody, say, "Hey, Kyle," because they're not plugging your ears. And I've tried them on a few times. They sound surprisingly good. And so if I were to get some headphones or whatnot for running, I would definitely look at the aftershocks. They've got 3 different sport models, and you could probably get some used ones if you want as well, or some different brand ones. But check out some bone conducting earbuds. I think you might like them.
When it comes to making your running more enjoyable, one thing that always comes to mind right away is to slow down, to make your running easier. Sometimes I feel like people think running should be hard, so they make it hard, when in fact, it's going to be better for your health, lower injury risk. You're going to feel better before, during, afterwards. You might look forward to it a little more. You'll recover better from it. You can run further and feel great if you slow down, if your runs are at an easy conversational effort or speed where you can have a fairly normal conversation, perhaps. And doing so, if you're running too hard, will give you a lot of benefits. And chiefly, you're going to feel better and maybe enjoy it a little more.